incredibly important to us, but it should not and will not probably be very important to you guys. Oh, it's not rocket beans. Let's lose that little guy. As well as the text at the top, because we're not doing Archon mode. Jeez, that's right. The last thing we cast was the Rocket Beans Archon mode tournament. Yikes. Well, without further ado, hello and welcome. If you're watching this, you're watching the replay of one of the folks who helped back our Kickstarter for Hell It's About Time. This is Rifkin, and of course, I'm joined by Zombie Grub. I guess one of the strange things about this, though, is because we are doing replays, you can't just set your camera on me, so I'm sorry. Good luck. Have fun. Anyways, in the bottom right corner of the map, I like this guy's name. I actually don't know which of these two are the one that sent it to me, by the way. I guess I should have looked that up, but it's going to be the Red Zerg player, CheesyPoof!
Ooh. In the top left as the blue Terran, it's TOGrizzly.
Or maybe it's TOGrizzly.
TOGrizzly?
TOGrizzly, you know, the famous family Risley.
Is there a famous grizzly that I'm not thinking of?
No.
You're making a pun out of?
I'm
Okay.
absolutely just making a horribly dumb joke, like, without exception.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta change some settings here really quick, because I forgot we were playing. Turn that off. Yoinks. Alright, oh, and last but not least, health bars would be good to have for everybody, right? You guys like health bars? Let's do that. Alright, so again, thank you to, I guess, at the moment of cast, I don't know whether it was CheesyPoof or TOGrizzly, but thank you both for playing, and thank you to whichever one of you was the actual backer for our Kickstarter that wanted you replay cast. I hope we'll do you a good job, but let's be honest, this is probably going to be full of stupid shenanigans, and I'm excited for it. I don't know what league these guys are either. Did you catch that on the load screen? I wasn't looking.
I was not looking.
Great,
Nope.
we're going to assume Grandmaster on the Korean server then.
Yes.
Shout out to Finex1985 for that sub real quick. But, okay, so TVZ on Terraform, it's kind of cool. I like this map. It's the one map that just doesn't seem broken, I guess. It's a silly way to phrase it, but we do get like some of our best matches here. But the one thing I find interesting, and I don't know about you, is we never seem to have any pushes really get, I guess, dissuade or controlled by the rock towers. Like, I want to see one time somebody knock these down and really just screw over early pushes.
Well, the problem with that is that with an early push, you're gonna have your own early units, and no one really has early units, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like 500 health on a rock tower. I mean, you could just put like a Reaper or a Marine on that or something.
Yeah, but that might dissuade your own push.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If you were the one who wanted to be aggressive, yeah. No, I meant someone who plays a little bit greedy. They scout like an attack coming, throw down the rocks, and make them walk all the way around the map instead of straight through the middle.
I guess it's possible that might happen. It just never seems to be that clear cuts. Like they don't scout the attack, or they just don't have any units fast enough to kill the rocks, or, you know, if you send your units outside of the bunkers you're making, they might not make it back in time. That type of deal. I actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we rarely saw that. I think like one every 100 games, we might see the towers be used in that fashion.
Yeah. I'm just saying it'd be cool too. It's funny, so Legacy the Void in mind right now, and there's the Skype squiggle. Hang on, sorry guys, I'm gonna try and turn that off, but for some reason it keeps going off of busy mode. But okay, gets a drone kill. I was gonna say that really quick. I was really shocked. I was like, where's the Reaper grenade? Why is he not using the grenades? Oh right, it's Heart of the Swarm.
Yep. Nope. Yep. Nothing to see here, really.
Well, maybe he could. There you go back in, not just sit there with the Reaper AFK. Oh, it gets 2 drone kills, that's not bad. Force out that spine crawler too, that's a lot of money invested this early on.
Yeah, definitely no overreaction. No reason to do this. Since the Zerg, they could have seen, like, that it was a reactor, and then maybe could have stuck around to see that it was a factory put down, although the factory is farther back behind the racks than you'd usually see. And I'm not even sure he's gonna. Okay, no, he's gonna swap it over. Okay, JK.
Okay,
and that
yeah.
armory. Oh, okay, it's a starport. All right, that makes sense. So a Hellion Banshee, but with a lot of Marines, I wouldn't be surprised to see an armory later on. And then he got a lot of gas. Well, he should have gotten a lot of gas. He's missing guys. The second gas guys are.
Oh, dude, I hate when you do that. It's like I think once every 100 games, but still, everyone does that at one point. And you're like, why do I have no gas at the time at which I need gas?
But like as a Terran, I think in this situation I would just be like, "Oh, I meant to open up Viking. Okay, here he goes." But
Well, salute to the Reaper. 2 kills. We got the middle base being taken out of CheesyPoof. A little bit, I'd say, dangerous or bold, depending on your point of view.
unnecessary, I would say.
Or that we can go down that path too. Yeah, it's. I mean, for those who are watching, wondering why we're talking about this, you're fighting against a Terran player who's all ranged units all the time. Hellions can just sit behind this mineral line. They'll fry drones alive, and you can't even respond because to get behind those minerals, you got to go all the way over there or all the way from the south. So I mean,
yeah,
it's not the best base to take early on. And that's why you see a lot of people sort of expand to the edges of the map, taking your 3rd here and even your 4th in the top right.
yeah. Yeah, it's a big deal, and that's why we see maybe the gold base is taken because maybe that's worth a maybe getting barbecued. But also, just as Zerg in general, unless he's going to play Roach Hydra, and even then, it's not really necessary to do this. To expand towards your opponent in any fashion is just completely unnecessary. Like, you have the faster units in almost all situations, and having to walk around a little bit more as opposed to having the triangle bases that say a Protoss would want is not a big deal for Zerg players, and it's a little safe for them as well. Now he is going into Roaches, so maybe he is going to go into Roach Hydra, and therefore he's going to have more of the aggressive side of things. Like, he will actually be able to get that map control that lets this hatchery not be roasted alive.
Well, as you say, that's a big maybe. That's a Banshee, it's some Marines. The Hellions certainly take care of most of what's on the ground. Shout out to that Reaper, by the way. This little MVP like went back for some more, got a kill and got out. I mean, it's just a creep tumor, but still. As the Hellions come up to the hatchery, they'll be able to get 1 drone.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 Roaches, I feel, are just... Forget the Hellions for a moment. The Marine/Banshee is going to have so much extra damage to bring to this.
Yeah, the Banshee is definitely the worst thing right here. Now, it does get target fired immediately, but this should be an easy kill for Grizzly. I mean, just target on the Queen, and there's no more Queen. Or, yeah, there's no more Queens. So this should be a hatchery kill. Even if the Roaches clean everything up on the ground, that Banshee can just target the hatchery.
Yeah, the Hellions are going to give some pursuit, but I mean, just sitting back here and killing, forcing the fight might be best. Big shout out, by the way, to Viking for the 12-month resub. Wow, welcome back for a full year, buddy. Now, with 2 Banshees, you express the thing with the Queen, but I guess there's 2 Spore Crawlers now, so maybe this won't be so bad. I say with a big question mark, because this small push from Grizzly, really, I mean, it is a small push. It's done so much damage already.
Oh. I think it was kind of committed.
Well, I say small just because of the terms of army size.
I don't know. It should not have done this much damage, only because I think the Zerg could have had roaches ready to go. And if they got the Scout and the Banshee, then that's a Spore Crawler and maybe an extra Queen thrown in there that holds this. I mean, they can't push into this. It's 2 Spore Crawlers.
That's really weird to see. I like it, though.
Yeah, because he's kind of a contain right now, which you don't usually see this early on with Hellbats. They're not really a contain unit, but
I would like to see him properly expand off this. Like, that 3rd CC came down a little bit late. Like, I feel like if you got this really sick contain going on and you got your 3rd mining behind this, you are so far ahead as a Terran player. But this does get cleaned up. Banshee, funny enough, won't, but the entire ground forces do. So the contain issue perhaps no longer a problem. I just want to give a quick shout out to Dormar2 for the $3 donation. Says, "You two are my favorite StarCraft 2 casters. Thanks for doing this so often." With a heart.
Do we have a delay on?
We do not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're doing it live. We're doing replays.
I know. That's why I was confused, but I haven't seen anyone talking about like the game. Everyone's just still betting Partus.
Welcome to Base Trade TV.
Yeah, apparently. So behind that attack, which did a lot of damage and probably shouldn't have, not with roaches available, the macro did slip quite a bit for Grizzly. So really what should have been quite a lead is still not a very good game for him. The supply is low, his SCV is low, his upgrades are bad, and the army is only on par with CheesyPoof.
Thank goodness he cloaked his Banshee killing that hatchery. Not sure why he did that. But you're right, like the SCV count being really low. This is a problem I think a lot of Terran players, we'll say in the lower leagues, have. They'll get content with their income because of the way mules bolster the economy, but you still need those SCVs. They're still a very integral part of what you're doing. So that SCV count being low on 34 right now, combination dedication to the wrong side of the map, a combination just perhaps carried by mules. But Grizzly really needs to get that count up. 35 is not going to take him far in this game.
Yeah, it's most of what early lower league players have. You know, the first thing that I was taught to learn, that's still probably being taught, I don't know, is that you just never stop making workers. So Zergs usually die unnecessarily because they make too many workers, but that is considered to be the better way to learn, and then you learn like not to die later on. And then for everyone else, it's just you might overmake workers. You might make like 80, and that's too much, but that's still better than having too low at 14 minutes.
And this is a little unfortunate here. If you look at the natural, we've all been there at some point as well, missing the mule, and unfortunately, it has got about half its life without correcting itself. Ouch.
Yeah, it might just die without doing anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be. He's busy focused on some drops right now, and I actually like this move. You know, props to Grizzly. This is a smart thing to do. There's hydras on the field. There's roaches. They're not going to be as responsive to drops, and it's less likely for your medevacs to die than if they were, you know, fighting mutalisks. So maybe he finds a little bit of damage here, but looks like he's going to go for this base once again. I don't think he can get this, though, even with Stim.
No. And he's just going to lose all of his units if he tries to stay. This is not a very good... No. That wasn't too good. I mean, it was a good idea, dropping and then getting out versus Roach Hydra. That's something you always want to do. You want to push them a lot and then hopefully get a big old army back at home full of tanks and upgrades. As Grizzly is still only on 2 base, which is, you know, one of those other problems. And he's getting a 4th base really quickly, which didn't have to be a problem. It's just that his army is still so low. And his production is still pretty darn low, too.
Yeah, I'm feeling so good for CheesyPoof right now. You know, the funny thing is about this game, again, trying to guess who actually sent it to us. I don't know which player was which, but this was called Best Game Ever to Replay is what it was saved as. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe it was the Zerg player who submitted this one.
I think so, just because he took so much damage early on and then he recovers. It is mostly on the fault of his opponent, but it's always a nice feeling to have that happen.
I actually just reread the email. It's actually not the guy who kickstarted us. It's his friend. So I guess he's just kind of doing this as a gift to him.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I guess in one of these cases, though, this is where we get to be unbiased. We're clearly not catering to one player because he submitted the replay.
Yeah, clearly.
As far as composition goes, as Terran, I mean, we've talked about it before. Your own concaves, a couple of siege tanks in the back, wood mines even. But going just straight up bio, when you're trying to play this numbers game, I mean, Grizzly's been in a bit of a funny spot for a while already, and he's been, like, these run-bys here are not going to really accomplish much. I don't think he's going to have a good chance to win this game if he bleeds out too much of his army.
No.
He's already so low.
Yeah, no real reason to do this little attack up here. Not without medevacs. You can do walk-bys. I think they're actually underrated.
I agree. We've seen some really cool walk-bys.
Yeah, just dropping somewhere completely way far off and walking. Make sure that these overlords that are looking for specifically drops don't see it. So it can be a good move, but you still should take medevacs in with you just in case you do get caught and you can just boost out.
Yeah, the distraction tactics there almost worked. If CheesyPoof actually didn't have those 2 spines, he probably would have lost the hatchery there because the entire army had just responded to the 4th down here. So I mean, that was a good move out of Grizzly if that was intended, but Poof, he didn't fall for it.
He did not.
Still trying to get some tanks.
Big army back at home. He did manage to buy so much time that his upgrades are going to finish here. I was not expecting that because CheesyPoof was just so far ahead.
Would you expect the Ultralisk Cavern?
No. I actually, like...
I'm waiting for the Vipers. Like, why Ultras?
Yeah, it was funny. I just played a game today where some way I did this, and I was just like, that's... Don't. No. Well, this attack, it's not going so poorly. There are a lot of Marauders, but there are 4 tanks that aren't getting taken out too quickly, so you can't push into it. Surprisingly, Grizzly holds his natural. And has a little bit of us around here.
Yo, maybe now I'm thinking it's Grizzly submitted the replay saying, like, you know what? I had the best defense. I was so far behind in the game, and my opponent just walked into my tanks. He was like, here, a gift, a dedication, a donation.
CheesyPoof has lost all of his roaches to protect those very vulnerable hydras, so if a couple more tanks could get a couple more shots off, then he is officially held, or if he had a bigger bio army. But unfortunately, not going to be the case. He could have focused on the command center. It's just going to look like it's going to burn. Not die.
Oh my god, it does barely go down. It's funny though, because without the command center going down, that would have actually been a very horrible engagement for CheesyPoof. not a lot of SCVs died, going back on the point earlier where Grizzly just didn't have a lot of SCVs in the first place. So
Yeah.
it looks low on 45, and that's because it's been low on 45 for the whole game. That attack, killing the command center, great. If he hadn't been able to do it, though, that was a lot of dedication from CheesyPoof.
No, Grizzly got that really early other command center, so he planted down really in an odd location, honestly. I don't know why he put it in the middle, but it's going to be a planetary, and it should be kind of safe and maybe even go undetected. I
mean, if you think about it, you'd be checking, like, over here, right? Not,
yeah,
not
you
in the
definitely
top.
would. That's really odd. But CheesyPoof himself also needs to get on a few more drones. Probably up to 65 would have been a lot better from the get-go, as he doesn't really have that big of a remax potential. Where really, usually when you do an attack like that, you have quite a big one. You know, it should have been immediate. Oh. Well, I like that better than the Spire. I mean, for the Ultralos Cavern.
Yeah, I agree. What I imagine he was thinking about doing here was probably just like upgrading one to a greater Spire and getting some upgrades with the other.
Yes.
Not a lot of really against Terran double upgrade Spire builds.
Not anymore. Back in Wings of Liberty, there might have been. I like Venoch, but you know, not so much anymore. It's usually also when you know you have this humongous bank that it's, you know, it's just something you can do. Maybe that's something that's like really good, but that's not his situation. So I don't really like the double Spire, but I still like it better than putting money into Ultralisk, which wouldn't be upgraded. Not very well upgraded anyways. They wouldn't have any of their attacks. And just, you know...
He did do chitinous plating, so I mean, if nothing else, it's one of those things where if you want a beefy unit, he's got it. But I agree, that's a bad investment.
I think the other thing that's really bad about going for Ultras with the Roach Hydra composition is that you already force them into countering your Ultras. Like, they already should have a fairly high Marauder count and tanks and a high medevac count, too, and should be dropping all over the place. You're just extending what is bad about Roach Hydra.
Well,
whereas Beard Lords, you know, it's a lot better.
We had a great defensive site, the natural there. We also have a huge mass repair going on this planetary. I don't think CheesyPoof's going to knock this down. We sort of have a drop going off in the main. There's for both players. Like, he's pulling the mules. What? Why did he pull the mules? They have minerals in their hands.
I don't know about that one, but the planetary is almost going to go down here. There was a moment where he just stopped repairing, and it is getting quite low.
Oh, you know why? Because he's low in cash. Look at that mineral.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, like barely 20, but I think he's going to hold this. In doing so, takes out most of the Hydras. His opponent's had a no army supply. CheesyPoof's got all this gas, but no minerals to spend, and he just... Oh, that's a mistake. He just made 22 drones. Zombie grub.
Oh,
Zombie grub. And they're all right here with the Marines. Oh, run!
No.
Ah, no, not into them. Run the other way. When I said run, I assumed you understood the direction.
Oh, God. Well, this is looking quite bad for CheesyPoof. He gave away his army. He gave away his economy. He just lost another base. He's still on, like, 3 base, but it's really just 2.
This is gonna be Grizzly's game at this rate. I just can't really see him losing it. I mean, it's so funny. The guy who can't make SCVs has had enough money to really take good engagements. We saw some pretty bad engagements, quite frankly, out of red, more so than good engagements out of blue. But I think one of the things our Zerg player is missing most from this, like no blinding clouds at any point in this game.
Yeah,
not even just for the siege tanks, even for the bio.
The Hive, I think, should have been for those Vipers. You know, maybe for the Greater Spire immediately, but more often than not, we see Vipers first, in addition to the attack. And there's usually a reason why. Now, Grizzly's still doing a lot of damage in the main base, taking out drones, taking out buildings. But his own SCV count, again, he's just not producing any, where he could have a really humongous bank and maybe going to be maxed out. He's just not.
It's funny, though, as a consequence, it looks like he has good macro. I mean, he is spending his money. He just doesn't have a lot of it. That's
true. That is a good point.
All right, so the gold base over here is going to try and keep CheesyPoof in the game. Again, he's got so much gas, but no minerals to spend. And it's not even like you could just make 40 meters at this point and win the game either, no matter how good your control is. It's just the fact that you won't have the unit support for it. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to say Terran's going to win this game. Mr. Grizzly here has probably already won, in fact. It's just a matter of bleeding his opponent dry, which is happening, as we can see.
Yeah. One thing I'm impressed about these players is that both of them, like, they stuck to their upgrades. Grizzly got a really late start, but has been pretty consistent. So it is what we're used to seeing, 3-3 against 3-2.
Oh no! Wait, why did the Queen not shoot one more time? Queen, why? So she's just running. She's like, I know what I did wrong. I'm out of here. Nobody's gonna catch me, suckers. No witnesses left alive.
Oh, he's bringing him back down to just like a single mining base. The natural's also mined out for CheesyPoof.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for the Zerg player to hold on for too much longer, and I hope you guys didn't just check your Skype again. Oops. I have Fear Dragon suggested turning off on my phone. I just turned the Wi-Fi off on my phone, so I don't know what's the dealio. I'm gonna look into that before I do the other replay. But yeah, this is Grizzly's game. This was a fight too, where like so much of this came down to that almost throw, and then when they pushed into the natural / third. If CheesyPoof had never made that move, never just basically ran into the tanks, I really think this game could have looked a bit different, but he never quite recovered after that.
Yeah. Again, that a lot of this game comes down to economy for both players and just not having the, well, the production first off for the Terran, and then for the Zerg, that remax potential afterwards, after you do the really good damage.
So I was wondering, where's this army at, right? It's all siege tanks and Marines protecting this third.
Yeah.
If I could give one advice to Grizzly right here, at this stage of the game at least, the best defense is a good offense, my friend. Just get out there. Send those tanks like across the map. You don't need them.
Yeah, he also needs to use his starport production a lot more. I think we brought this up at another time too, maybe like an IM cast, where like I think getting that final production point to be pretty steady with the rest is kind of hard for Terrans. So either use the tab method or your starport's like all the way off to the right or something like that, but you always forget to keep producing medevacs, and that can be a big problem.
That is another thing too, because Roach Hydra definitely necessitates you need a good chunk of medevacs, like each Marine Marauder with a personal healer type thing. Go over the Ultras Cavern though, he's just like, you know what it was? I got it. CheesyPoof was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the sickest bait. He's gonna keep just diving in with giving away Marines at a time to kill this Ultras Cavern. I'll just pick him off.
Yeah, apparently.
That was clearly the tactics employed by CheesyPoof. But
he really wants it. He's gonna get it.
Oh, yeah, nails it.
Nailed it, yeah, exactly. Also, Grizzly has had this base in the top 12 o'clock position far longer than he really should have.
I agree. It's, there's been a lot of oddities to this game. Wait, why are you long distance mining for the back of the gold? Just send your drones to the front of the gold.
I think we might see pro gamers do this mistake here. They correct it a lot faster, but you know, you just send the drones from your third to the gold base, you click on the gold minerals, and they do this instead of,
I wonder
the better way to go.
Should that be a bug report thing though? Like,
yeah, I wonder.
Fix the AI on the drones, please. Like,
yeah,
idiots.
This is weird. This might be really obnoxious in a pro game, man. Like,
I mean, well, if you think about it, if you got like 90 drones, right, but you're stuck on 2 bases, this is an efficient way to use them.
Nuh-uh, because they still mess up the mining for like 3 per.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, Marine's gonna push in here. The tank count is absurdly high. No medevacs though makes this army really weak. If there were a couple of medevacs, I'd say this is an easy stomp, a move situation. But without medevac support, actually, this bio every time they stim, it's gonna hurt. Every time they take damage, it's gonna last.
That is just basically the main problem right now for Grizzly. His economy is it's actually okay now at 45 SCDs and 2 bases.
Why Mutus?
Oh, I guess he just doesn't. Well, I would say he doesn't like the drops, but the medevacs are all dead. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like 9 times out of 10, you could say this, but there we go. I guess that's the game. No GG out of CheesyPoof. Grizzly gonna rock the series.
Wait, did he get Neosteel bunkers? I thought.
Did he? He did get Neosteel frame.
Oh my god.
Does he not have any bunkers that I can look at to check this? Where's the T button? He doesn't have any bunkers. Our hero, he won a game of TVZ with Neosteel frame. Excellent. What a badass. What a guy. What a straight up goes.
He tried.
He did try. All right.